testing the amp on my hex beam this morning into Australia, and at last I can make a decent contact into Melbourne at 5.9. So I was struggling a little bit before with the 90 watts, so it's nice to have a bit of extra punch behind my signal. Back to you, Carl, from LX3KR to G0KPE.
G0KPE, excellent, Carl, fantastic. And yes, the amp does make it.
Morning, Carl.
An Alpha 91B. I bought it way back in 1998, would you believe? No, 96. Oh, crikey. No, I think it was 98. Yeah, 1998. It's a long time ago anyway. And it's still going. I've had to do a few little repairs now and then. High voltage cap, the high voltage coil developed a short out of the blue, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, fantastic. And the valve amp, so I just love them as well because they just go forever. I'm not saying your signal's really clean, it's probably because it's the full SDR. I also have pre-distortion on the rig here as well, so it's a really nice clean signal sideband. I can't see any residual upper sideband at all on your signal there, so it's really good. Really good cut. And yeah, terrific. The hex beam is a fantastic antenna. I'm using that every single day, and I love it. And with the amp as well, the GX is easy pickings, easier anyway. So it's yeah, all good. The rig is a IC7610 Icon, and I'm running about 300 watts at the moment. I just have to have the amplifier just low power, just in case for a little bit of oomph. The antenna I'm using here is an inverted V for 40 meters. Well, it's a linked inverted V. I've got links in it for 30 meters, 10 meters, and I sometimes use it on 80 meters as well for some of the contests. But at the moment I have it just set for 40 meters, inverted V. And yeah, I think it works okay. A good match. Got a 1-to-1 choke up at the top at the feed point to stop the coax from radiating, and it works well. But of course the hex beam is the star, as you know, for the other bands. Congrats from Australia earlier. I was on a bit earlier, and there's a station in Norfolk Island, VK9. I managed to work them earlier on, which is nice. There's a station off for Sri Lanka as well. There's contests galore on the main band, but the walkout's good. So, rabbiting on there for ages. I think all I'll do is I'll go to Vox, and then you can interrupt any time. LX3KR G0KPE.
Yeah, G0KPE from LX3KR. I just heard John ON8EI. I don't know if you know. I think you might know John in Belgium. Oscar November 8 Echo India. He's part of a group we have on WhatsApp, and we talk frequently. And he's just popped in, so I'll let John just acknowledge that he's there just on the next over. But Roger and all that, Carl, with the 7610, lovely radio. I've often been tempted to buy one of those, and might still do, to be honest. I think they're bringing a slightly newer model of the 7610. I'm not quite sure what's new on it, but it was a 7610 32, whatever that means. But I did put my name down for the new ICOM 7300, the Mark II in Wimo. I think it's coming out in November, December. But it has a few improvements due to a whole bunch of feedback from the current 7300 users. But yeah, I just have the SDO radio here, and I am using pure signal as well, by the way, Carl. So it probably explains why the skirts of the signal are pretty tight. It's not perfect, but it's about 45 dBs of IMD3, which is down, which is not too bad. And it is really great, to be honest. The software, the noise reduction is just superb, and I get occasional QRM here, and the Theta software just gets rid of that completely. The other rig I still have is the Kenwood TS480, which I still use portable. I've had that for 16, 17 years. Still works a treat, to be honest. It's a robust thing. It's old school radio. But I wouldn't mind a standalone desktop rig, something like the 7610 or the 7300. I'm going to think about that this year and spend a bit of money. But the amp for sure is the biggest spend item I think I've ever shelled out on. It's very expensive, and to be honest, I was looking at MOSFET amps for ages, and quite a few of the suppliers had very long waiting lists. And I was on the waiting list for two suppliers, one in the US and one in Greece. And the waiting list was like 12 months. I thought, forget this, and to be honest, when I started reading about the valve amps, they are much more robust in many ways. And I just didn't want to take the risk to buy a very expensive MOSFET amp and then end up having to, blowing up the finals and having a very expensive repair bill. I mean, the valve is good. It's a bit fiddly. Of course, you have to tune it in each band, but with the ACOM 1010, that's easy. I always said, I'll have a couple of friends that are also using the same amp, and they said it's just easy to do it. So no, I'm very pleased. I'll treat it carefully. I'm not going to overdrive it or push it too hard. I'm quite happy just to have max 500 watts when I need it, and the rest is fine. I'll just but it's good. I'm really impressed, to be honest. I was a bit concerned about the increased power in a kind of relatively tight space in the garden and also neighbours close by. But so far, no trouble. I only had a bit of issue with 40 meters yesterday with some RF getting into the mic, but a couple of clamp-on ferrites solved that problem. But anyway, long over. I'll just let John come in and just introduce himself there, Carol, from LX3KR. To G0KPE and ON80i.
Yeah. Okay, good morning to the two Carls, and I'll go quickly over to Carl in the UK. Long time no hear. Sounding very good in Belgium, nice and loud. Yeah, 10 over 9 with me, Carl in the UK. So back she goes, and I'm also on the Hermes Light. G0KPE. ON80i. Hope all is well with you, Carl. Over.
Yeah, great to hear from you, John. Good morning. And both of you, you're well over S9. Lovely to hear sound. And look at the three of us, all nice, clean, single sideband signals with our pre-distortion or whatever. No, that's great. And lovely to hear from you, John. Yeah, it's been a while. I've been fairly regular on the air, doing DXing and all that CW stuff, which is what I enjoy doing, and it's all good. And here we are coming into the autumn. The HF band conditions at the moment are fantastic. About 10 meters, 12 meters, all the high ones. So as we go into the autumn, things are looking good. So all good. John, Carl, congrats to the amplifier. Yeah, I just like the concept of valves, to be honest. I'm still on the original pair, the two 4CX800A ceramic valves in my amp, and they're still the originals from back in 1998, and they give more or less the same power. Maybe a fraction down, but easily we're allowed a kilowatt now in the UK, so that's easily achieved if I need it. But mostly I just like you to keep it down a little bit. Don't need that kind of power, and everything just keeps on going. It's nice. What else is happening then? So yeah, I got the hex beam. That's still up there, and the inverted fee, and you're fine on the new ICOMs. I've seen that their second iteration of the IC7300 coming out, and that looks very good. They've added in a lot of the nice features that people thought was lacking on the first one, but the first one was groundbreaking. They sold thousands of them, didn't they? And the 7610 that I've got here is similar. It's got two receivers, which is brilliant for DXing and breaking through pileups and all that. I think you probably have dual receivers in your SDR radius as well. It just makes life so much easier finding where the other station is listening and sneaking it, giving you a call out. So that's good fun. And of course, being able to listen to two bands as well. And the hex beam, of course, it's instant. You can listen on different bands, and you've got resonance antennas there, so it's all good. So there you go, Carl. Well done on the ACOM. They are big bucks, but you're going to have it for life. So you're never going to change. The only frustrating thing is sometimes if there's some juicy DX and you just see the spot, you turn on the amp. Well, in my case, I'm waiting 3 minutes for the tubes for the heaters in the tubes to warm up. and that seems to go on a long, 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 long time when you're waiting there and the pile-up is building. LX3KR to take it in the group, G0KPE.
Yeah, G0KPE from LX3KR. Yeah, very good, Carl. Yeah, I haven't really reached that problem yet. I don't mind waiting to whatever the 150 seconds it is for the thing to warm up. Although I was up quite early this morning. I've tried to make a few contacts into Oz over the last few months and struggled a bit with 90 watts. So I jumped straight in there with Grant and Greg, the Grant and Greg show in Melbourne, and I was pleasantly surprised to get a good sig into Melbourne. So it makes a massive difference. And I checked also on one of the SDRs out there in Australia, so it makes a huge difference. I mean, it's not 10 S points, but it's enough to get you over the line. And I don't mind the amp was it's about 17 kilos. I thought it was quite heavy on paper, but it's absolutely fine, and I'm hoping that it'll last a good few years, and I have no intention to buy anything else, especially at this QDH. I think pushing 500 watts where I am is about as much as I dare risk, and maybe the next QDH. Well, actually, if there is a next QDH, the top of the list is a much bigger garden, so I can stretch out, bigger antennas and maybe even a tower. But anyway, that's something for the future. On the I-76, the 7610, I was going to actually ask you, Carl. I heard about the pre-distortion on that on the 7610. Do you have a kind of? Is the pre-distortion applied to the amp inside the 7610 itself, or can you plug in an external coupler that's connected to the output of your linear amplifier? Back to you, Carl, from LX3KR.
It's all internal, Carl. It's all internal. So I am depending on the linearity of the amplifier to do its stuff. But all the pre-distortion is done software-wise in the 7610. I know ICOM have a big kilowatt amplifier of their own where they do sample the output of the amplifier and feed it back and do clever stuff on that. But no. So that's another good thing. The valve amp is going to be that much cleaner than the MOSFET one, you'd imagine. Anyway, so there you go. Carl, back to you.
Yeah, just hold on a sec. I think John is heading off to get his breakfast. I'll just let John just come in and say his goodbyes. Back to you, John.
Yeah, Roger and Carl in the UK. I look forward to more contacts with you in the future. And just to say, I'm on a the radio, the Hermes Lite, and at the moment it's 2.5 watts into the MOSFET amp, and giving me about 500 out. And it's a ACOM 1200S. So that's it. Okay, Carl in the UK, I'll put it back to you very quickly. Thank you, Carl in Luxembourg, for bringing me in. And it's nice to meet the three guys from South Dublin. So G0KPE, ON80i and the group, Carl, over.
Yeah, great, John. Good. Go and have a nice breakfast. I had a quick toast and coffee before coming up here. Maybe we could try Saturday mornings regularly because the band seems lovely for the skip that we need between the three countries, and maybe it could do this as a regular thing. Let's see how it goes. Ready? Off we go. Have a nice breakfast, John. I'll listen out for you, and we'll make a longer contact soon. ON8EI G0KPE. Good luck.
Yeah, thank you, and I'll send you an email in a little while. Take care, and back to you, Carl in Luxembourg, and thank you for bringing me in and sounding much better than you did last night, Carl. Over.
Yeah, ON80i and G0KPE. Yes, John, thanks very much. I solved the problem, to be honest. And this is feedback in the microphone, and I also I'm only using one output of the amp now, so I have a switch on the output, so I can use the coupler, the RF sampler for both 40 meters and the other bands going to the X beam, because I want to use pure signal on both sides, and it seems to work absolutely fine now. But all teething problems, I'll iron them all out over the next few days. Have a good breakfast, John, and a nice day, and I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, thank you, Carl. 73 ON80i. Bye-bye.
Yeah, okay. By the way, John, your signal is wider. You probably do something with the audio there than Carl's. I can tell you've got a bit more high frequency, wider bandwidth. We'll talk about that another time. Carl, all good. And I think it's everyone's dream to have a lot bigger garden so you can get more antennas in there. I was joking with an American over in Virginia a couple of days ago. He's got a remote station with 4 acres and lots of towers and things. I think, that sounds ideal. And nowadays with the remote possibilities with the internet connections, it's a thing that more and more people are doing. LX3KR G0KPE.
Yeah, G0KPE from LX3KR. Yeah, well, over in the US, there's a lot of space, to be honest. And when I was traveling over to the US for work, some of my colleagues living in Virginia and in Maryland, the unbelievable size of houses and gardens over there. I mean, acres, because there's so much space. It's not like Europe, unfortunately. I mean, you can still find some good plots here in Central Europe, but you've got to move away from the cities and where all the work is.